Well, good morning, channel. As I promised in my last video, we are now out on a motovlog. Time to get some motorcycle time in. Thank you guys if you tuned in to see the photography. Hope you enjoyed that. It is a passion of mine. I like to share that with you guys. It is Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, and let's just take a moment and realize how blessed we are. Blessed that as we honor the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we have the freedom to get on our motorcycle and ride on a Sunday morning. And those that have passed on, you know, natural causes but serve their country well, we honor them this weekend and give thanks to them. Because of them, that I'm able to get out on this beautiful Sunday morning. 77 degrees in North Texas. Perfect riding weather. And do this. I'm blessed because of my health. You know, we all have issues, but at least my health, still at my age, affords me the ability to get out and ride this motorcycle. I'm blessed that I have a career that allows me to fund my passions, motorcycles and photography, and still supports my family, you know, as a single source of income for my family. It's important, and I don't discount it any day. Very appreciative that I have that ability and am able to provide and enjoy. So anyway, what are y'all's plans on this Memorial Day weekend? I'm sure there's a few of you going to do some grilling, and I'd like to do that too. Tell you what though, of everybody that's tuning in today, I'm probably the least skilled at grilling than any of you. Just ask my wife. Yeah, it'd be nice to do a little bit of that. This morning I'm heading north. Thought I'd head out to Lake Texoma. It's a good hour and a half drive out there, hour and a half drive back from where I live in North Texas, and it's just good to be out. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like motorcycle content, photography content, you're in the right place. It's free of charge. Click the like button and subscribe, and you can enjoy this going forward. My name is Robert. I ride a 2023 Honda Goldwing DCT Tour version. It's probably the last bike I'll ever own. Previous to this, for about 20 years I owned a Honda VTX 1800 and have been riding motorcycles most of my life. Just love the way it feels and the freedom in the air, and it's, you know, 76 degrees, speaking of air. Gonna warm up pretty quick today, but I have my Olympia jacket on, which I don't think they're in business anymore, but it's a great jacket. I've had it for a good number of years, and when you take all of the liners out, it's basically mesh, and it just lets the air flow through while still providing the protection of the armor that's built into it. My riding boots are Milwaukee riding boots. They're comfortable. I like them. helmet is a Shoei Neotech 2, very new to me, recently purchased and upgraded from a Shoei Neotech 1 that I had for, I don't know, 7 to 10 years maybe. And you know, they say the foam padding, you know, degrades over time. You know, you gotta wonder, is that just the helmet manufacturers sitting in a room going, you know what, they're gonna buy a helmet and then they're never gonna need one again, unless, God forbid, they have an accident. Hey, I know, one guy speaks up in the corner. Let's say that the foam inside, the styrofoam or lining inside, degrades over time, and let's make them replace it every 5 years. Oh, that's a great idea. You're promoted. I don't know, is that the way it went down? What do you guys think? Either way, I always err on the side of safety, so I bought a new one. And I love it. It fits, as typical Shoei does, fits beautifully. I want to say it's a tad bit noisier than the Neotech 1. I've said that before in my videos, and I really think it is. I don't know whether it's just a bigger gap where my ears are. It does have the, you know, the chin curtain I don't have in there because it just bothers me. I don't like the chin curtain, but I didn't have the chin curtain before, so it's not that. Anyway, feels great. It's keeping me safe. No complaints. Got the internal visor that drops down, shade visor, which is really cool. Grew up watching Chips, you know, the California Highway Patrol. Anybody watch Chips out there? Are you that old? Are you with me? This girl will get up and go. She may not be the most powerful bike on the market, but I'm telling you what, she's got all the power this guy needs. She got a bath yesterday. First time in a long time. She was overdue. She's all cleaned up. I say she, don't we all, guys, sort of slap the feminine gender on our machines, whether it's cars or boats or motorcycles? I'm not one of those that like to name my bikes. A lot of people do. Nothing wrong with that. I just can never think of a name that fits, to be honest with you. And although this bike, as you know, is that Arden red color, and I like to call it Iron Man red. So for my son, I slapped a Stark Industries sticker on the side bags. He thought that was pretty cool. I am nowhere near as cool as Tony Stark. One of these days I'd like to take this to, you know, my favorite place to photograph is southwestern Colorado in the San Juan Mountains. Most beautiful places on earth, one of them. And you know, have a house up there in Ouray, Colorado. Love it. I'd like to take the bike up that way. I took the VTX a couple of times, but I'm a good bit older now, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. This will be kind of a good test, going for an hour and a half up to Lake Texoma, see how my neck does, and eventually I'm gonna have to have my neck worked on by somebody. Putting that off as long as I can because, well, you know, surgery. Who wants to do that? So tell me, guys, in the comments below also, where have you gone on your motorcycle? What's the furthest trip you've taken? For me, that would be a trip to Colorado. It's about 980 miles one way and back. Where have you gone? Tail of the Dragons? Anybody done that? I'm sure you have. I have not, but I've seen plenty of videos. Where are some really cool places to ride? I bought this Honda Goldwing back, I guess it's been 5 months now. We're here at the end of May. I took delivery of it maybe the last week of December. It's my first DCT. No clutch. Very much used to it now, very much used to the feel of it. Sits a little higher than the VTX, so it was a bit unnerving when I first got on it. Now it's all just muscle memory. Feels comfortable, feels like it's a part of me. Love the way it rides. I put the Healy bar risers here on the handlebars to bring them a little closer to me, because I got short guy problems, I gotta tell you. But also, it's the first motorcycle I've had that has cruise control. I have never had a bike with cruise control, never thought I wanted it. I actually thought it was kind of dangerous, but you know, way out here, nobody around, it's kind of nice not to have to squeeze the throttle. And you just cruise right along. So I'm digging that. This Honda Goldwing also has, watch my windshield, an adjustable windshield. It can go that far up, and man, does that take all the wind off of me. I don't much care looking through a windshield, so I don't keep it that high. But that's cool that it does that, and it makes it awful easy to clean it. Let's pull it back down here. Hit the resume on the cruise control. We're going down to one lane. Well, that means I got to keep up the speed, or people are going to honk at me for being a tourist. That's all right. But yeah, I love this bike. Once you figure out the secret code, which let me tell you is a complicated secret code, to plugging in your phone, because you really have three communication devices. You have the bike, you have your helmet, and you have your phone. All three of them sort of hooked together. And there's this wonderful little dance you do that get them to hook up right, because if you don't do it in the right way, your Apple CarPlay will not turn on. And I don't like the Honda navigation so much. I mean, it's not terrible, it's not great. I use Waze, as you guys who watch my channel know. Got Waze on right now through my Apple CarPlay. Just filled up with gas. I always put the highest level of gas in it. It's just me. What is that, 93 octane, I think? I'm sure it doesn't need it. And here's a hot topic: dark siding. Got any of you guys out there that dark side? I don't have any issues with that. I think you ought to do you. Whatever works for you. Would you do dark side, those of you who do, would you do dark side if money was no object and you had no issues just replacing a normal motorcycle tire whenever it needed it? I mean, that is the advantage of the dark side, that car tire, you get much more life out of it. I mean, just a lot more life. I don't do it. Nothing against it. It's just not my preference. But I understand why people do. It makes perfect sense. This bike has 2 or 3 modes, if you will, driving modes. Right now I'm in tour mode. You might see it on the dashboard down there. Tour mode, 7th gear. There's an econ mode, which I think changes the shift points so that it shifts a little faster. You're always in a higher gear, saving a little gas. Throttle response slows down a bit. And then there's a sport mode, which, man, you put it in sport mode, you better have your hands on the handlebars when you take off, because your legs will be flapping in the wind. Sucker just takes off. I don't do sport mode that often because it's peppy. And also the VTX I used to ride seemed like it was geared lower. I mean, I'm going what, 65 right now. RPMs look like 2300. Yeah. I know the VTX, even though it didn't have a tach, was lower than that. And I'm in 7th gear. It kind of feels like there ought to be an 8th gear. To any of you Goldwing riders feel like that? DCT. That's 7 gears. You sometimes feel like there ought to be an 8th. I mean, we got a lot of speedometer room over there, and not as much tach room. Bike feels comfortable. Seems like it just loves 2300 RPM, so I'm not worried about it. But as external speakers, if I wanted to blow my tunes for everybody to hear, I could do that. I don't do that, but I could. Let's get her back down to a little over 45, as that is the new speed limit going through town here. Alright, as you can see on the ways down here on my dashboard, we are coming up on Lake Texoma. It's a pretty sizable lake that splits the states of Texas and Oklahoma, hence the name Texoma. I've had relatives with houses up here, been up here fishing. It's a beautiful lake. And I love the area as you get closer. It's just windy roads and boats everywhere. You want to buy a boat? Two happiest days of a boat owner's life: the day he gets his boat and the day he sells his boat. Never owned a boat. Just wouldn't put enough use to it. Same with a camper or a trailer, travel trailer. They make some cool ones. I just don't think I would put it to enough use to justify the cost. It's a beautiful area in here. Old growth trees. So I've been on the bike now for, I don't know, hour and a half. Hour and a half, I don't know. The seat's okay, but I'm ready to get off, stretch my legs. I've been curious how this seat's going to do. You know, there's very mixed opinions about the stock Honda Goldwing seat. I hear a lot of good things about that Russell Daylong seat, but you gotta send your existing seat off to California and wait a few weeks for him to create it and send it back to you. Maybe someday, if I'm recovering from neck surgery, that'll be a good time to send it off. And they're not cheap. Love this twisty road filled with vultures and dead things. The tree awnings over the road, it's just beautiful. Alright guys, here we are at Lake Texoma. Makes you want to have a boat. Some folks out here fishing. This guy over here is about to unload his boat, go have fun. And I gotta tell you, look how good this dang bike looks against this backdrop. I took a couple of photos of it. I'll throw those up right now. Beautiful place. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. The ride home is going to be pretty much the same old as you've already seen, so I'll save some disk space and save you guys some time and cut the video here. But I want to thank you for joining me today, and like I said, if you like this content, like and subscribe. You guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget why we're celebrating. Enjoy time with your family. And I'll see you again soon. Until then, ride safe and God bless.